All right. We live. Checkity check, check 1, 2. That's new. They just updated. So we're gonna play around with the lighting real quick. Let's see how this looks. All right. That's gonna set up the back. And can we color this? I don't know. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna color that one, this one, and then I'm all greasy and stuff. Actually, I'm not greasy. I'm sweaty. But how's that look? I don't know. We gotta put some more. You know what? Let's. We early. We got some time here. Let me. What am I doing here? I want this to be more. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, how's that look? I don't know. All right, let's see. How's this work? I shouldn't be chewing gum either. Let's see here. Can I get my All right, what's going on, my dude? Just got home from work. What up, Ryan? What's going on, people? So this is gonna be well. First of all, thank you for joining. The setup's a little janky to this together, but got some lights on me. Got a little backdrop. Got this ugly ass door, but you know. It's in the way. I ain't moving it. But yeah, let me take this gum out because I feel that's unprofessional. All right, man. Do I gotta? Here, let me dust my face off. I don't know if that makes it any better. But yeah, so we're gonna be live for about 45 minutes, and then I'm gonna jump off. But the main thing is I just want to be consistent, and that's what I'm doing, being consistent. So uh let's see here. Let me start with, well, there's 7 people in here, and that's all we need. I'll do this with one person. Doesn't matter to me. But let's see here. So we'll start with the good news, right? So I well, if you follow the walk and talk videos, but I got a job, and it's cool. It's actually very similar to what I was doing in Japan, teaching little kids how to do their phonics and all that stuff. The only difference is in Japan we were using like Sesame Street, so Elmo was like singing ah. Well, they didn't. We had different grades, but there's no songs in this one, and there's no Sesame Street. But yeah, it's cool. I haven't started yet. That starts in September, so now I'm just watching these. I mean, I gotta watch the videos, and it's better to watch the videos than be like sitting in some room for 2 hours. These are 2 hour videos, man. But yeah. Normally when I go to the gym, I'm like watching like tutorials on making music. Today I was watching tutorials on how to use the software to grade the kids. When I'm sitting in this room, you see how hot it is, man. I'm like sweating and stuff. I just be falling asleep, man. It is brutal, brutal. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. And continuing with what you gotta. I don't like this door. Can I get rid of this door? All right, that looks better. Yeah. All right, so that looks much better to me. But yeah. And it seems I didn't want to ask the question. I didn't want to be that guy, but it seems like we get paid weekly, which that is going to help me out a lot because oh man, I'm falling behind on everything. Um, I had to do the so it's crazy, man. Check this out. To be a teacher in Japan, all you need is a degree, a nice face, because you do have to send your picture with your applications, and there you go. You got the job. To teach in America, you got to get a background check, a criminal check, a check to say that you ain't hurt nobody. You got to get a fingerprint with the FBI or some shit like that. That's a lot, and you got to pay for it. Pay for it with money you don't got. When I was in Japan, there was some teachers. I hate telling this story because it's just so sick. This guy, he's like, now I didn't know because we're just talking. I think it was the beginning of the school year, and we had some stupid orientation, and I was at McDonald's, and he happened to walk in, so he sits next to me, and he was just like, "Yeah, man, I like teaching. Teaching's great." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." And he's like, "Yeah, I had some issues with one of the people there, but I like teaching." And I left it at that. I don't be in people's business. So then it turns out that this guy, he dated one of the students. Now you might say he dated he dated one of the students, or he was doing something with her. We teach at a junior high school. That means the kids are from 11 to 14, 15. Isn't that shit fucked up? So then I guess they couldn't prove it. I don't know. I don't know the details, but they they fired him, but they fired him on some other shit, right? So he like they fired him. They didn't have proof, but people were talking, so they just fired him. Bam, you're fired. And then he goes around and he pulls a Trump card. That's going to mean a whole nother thing now because, Trump. But he's just like, yeah, you fired me illegally, so I'm entitled to XYZ. Now, you say, why do you know this? Because his name was Matt and my name was Matt. And when they were responding, I got sucked into the email thing. So I'm seeing all this back and forth. And actually, I think because the manager, his name was Matt, my name was Matt, his name was Matt. So someone got really confused, and I was always attached to these stupid things. But yeah. So yeah, they should have did a background check, but you don't need those when you work in Japan. Which they should, man. They screen out people. But anyway, that's another life. Let's see what else is going on. What's going on? It's hot, as you can see. It's hot. But wow, yeah. There's not to throw shade at people, but there's some questionable people who be working in Japan, man. I mean, it goes on. Like I was working with a Japanese teacher, right? And she said to me one day, I hate kids. I'm like, why are you a teacher? I didn't say this to her, but she always was, I hate my job. I hate the kids. And it was just like, why? I get it. Kids could be annoying and blah, 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 but don't do this job. I had another teacher. She would tell the kids to shut up. Japanese teacher. She'd be like, shut up. She said in Japanese. She's like, shut up. So one day, this is when I first started working, first couple of years, right? And she didn't like my style. She didn't like the way I do things. So she ratted me out to the company. And the company came in there and they sat down and said, is it true, Matthew, that you are not doing your job to your best abilities? And I didn't say anything because from what I learned, right, when they don't care about us. Michael Jackson sung the song. They don't really care about us. So, when they come in there, they're probably just going to throw you on. They don't care about us. So I'm just sitting there, just taking it, whatever. Say what you got to say. And then he's just like looking at me. So is that true, Matthew? And I'm like, she says shut up to the kids in Japanese. If we're going to play that game. But yeah, man. Yeah. So let's because we live. So I want to show you a picture real quick. I don't know if I could do this easily. Let's see here. Let me pop this in here. Does it work like that? Oh, I see. All right, here it is. So here's a picture. My teacher sent this. My Zumba teacher sent this today. All right. I don't know if you could see it yet. I think you could see it. Let me know if you could see the picture. And let me know if you could find me. Practically, it's a blue shirt me. Because on my end, I'm still seeing. Well, I assume you could see me because if you're still seeing my beautiful screensaver thing. But all right, thank you. So you can see that's my teacher, TJ. And then there's 8 women in there. And all the way in the back with the blue shirt, that's me, hiding. But on this day, she recorded it. And if you didn't want to be on the camera, you had to be on the far sides. Most of the time when she's moving, I'm like right behind her. You don't see me. But that's my class, man. And it's fun, man. And it burns calories, man. I burn like 345 calories in a Zumba class. Crazy. All right, how we get this out of here? Goodbye, picture. Get out of here. Boom. Get. But yeah. Today I had so I came from Zumba. I do a 8 o'clock. Was it 7 o'clock Zumba? Yeah. 7 o'clock Zumba, 7 to 8. I fly home. I was going to do this. But today's class is with Sonia. I mean, for the other teacher, maybe I'm burning like 260, but for Sonia, I'm burning like 350 because she got us jumping around and stuff. But yeah, it's cool though. It's cool. I really love when I mean, some moves I'm uncoordinated. Like if you say rub your head and scratch your tummy, I can't do that stuff. Now I could rap and make a beat walking down the street and not get hit by a car. That takes a skill. I could do that. I could fly a drone and rap. I could do those things, those, but yeah, but good times. So tomorrow I got to get my fingerprints. Is that the other guy still in the class talking about? The one with the no, he was like a 1 day. I think Beyonce wanted her dancer back because he could have been in one of those videos, but that was a 1 day thing. I mean, in today's class, there's an old guy who he can't dance for shit, but I'm happy to see him because, you know, I mean, she was doing all like, who run the world, girls, who run the world. But she did do a move today, which I don't know if it was because there's two guys in the class or she's trying to switch it up. But it was like she was punching the ground. It's like, pop, pop. It was really weird. Because most of her moves, she's all like, but whatever. I seen her one day. I seen her. I'm like, hey, you're the teacher. She's like, yeah, I'm the teacher. And then today she came in like, hey, what's up? But yeah, I like her. She got a good music selection. Basically, what it feels like to me is like a club, man, with the lights bright on, everyone watching you. But it feels like the club because she plays up tempo. She does all types of music. But it's cool. It's cool. I mean, I still get not freaked, psyched, nervous. Because if I'm doing my thing and I turn around and I see like the people walking, I'm just like, But so I don't get lost in it. Like if I'm in a club and the lights are off. But yeah. But it's cool. Yeah. Gotta keep an eye on that time there. So it's almost the end of the summer, right? And for reasons as they are, I haven't really done much. But I mean, I do enjoy my walks. I walk about roughly 3-4 miles when I do my little walks. Sometimes I make the video, but then I go around or whatever. So it's cool. It's not Japan, but and we have for those in the States and whoever, Hershey, like Hershey's Kisses. So in Pennsylvania, we have a theme park, Hershey's theme park. So I was on my bucket list of places to go while I was home. I mean, I guess I can always go. But, yeah. So I'm kind of rushing. But I just got a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff. The album, Moonrock. Man, it's an organic album, man. And today I found, so it started with I just left my therapist. It was last Thursday. I left her, right? And I was just making a joke like, yeah, all this shit really sucks. I don't say shit. I guess you can say whatever you want, but I don't say it. I was just like, all this stuff. Because I'm just like, this happened, this happened. She's like, how do you feel? And I'm like, man, just give it. And I'm like, but it's okay because all this, I'm going to turn it into music. I'm going to take that. It's like, it's fuel for something. Experience, right? So, I got into the car and I started playing some drum beats. And then it just like Moonrock popped into my head. Moonrock. And then the idea was planted. The seed was planted in my head. And then, yeah, I just started like just saying things to the beat like the hardships of life filled with a little bit of strife is just the content that I use when I throw on the mic. I mean, that's what I'm rapping right now. But I was just filtering it into the beat, no music, just a drum beat, like a boom, chugga, chomp. I was like, yeah, moon rock, wow. And what sucks is the beats, the drum loops I was rapping over, I don't own them yet. Like I was just rapping over a demo drum beat from the sample pack. So it's like, and I was talking about this. So I literally have to go get that stupid sound pack to catch that vibe. And then today I was looking at some videos. When I was in Japan, I rented a grand piano for a photo shoot because she said she played piano. We actually played. So she was sitting here, I'm sitting here, and we're just playing piano, and I recorded all that. And then she left. I mean, we had a photo shoot, then she left. And then I rented the piano. It was like in a room, like an Airbnb with a piano. So since I had it for the night, I started just sitting around there and boom, 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 eyes closed, dun, 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 and for hours, like 4 hours. So I'm going to use those pianos, and I'm going to layer them over the drums, and then I'm going to use my favorite plugin, Scalar, to find the keys of that, because I'm just hitting random keys. But yeah, it's but organic, you know? Organic, that's the key. But yeah. Yeah. That's everything. That's everything. So it's hot. It is hot. But I'm used to it. In my house in Japan, I didn't turn. Well, one, I was never at home. But when I was at home, I didn't turn on my little air conditioner. I didn't want to pay for it. Winter is a different story. I can't really function in the cold, but heat, you know, you just start stripping off stuff. Sit here, as long as you don't move, and then a little breeze will come through, and it you know, good times, good times. Yo, okay, y'all know Price is Right, right? With Drew. So you know how he'd be like, and next up is Tommy Johnson. I mean, he doesn't say it, but they call their name. And then Tommy comes running up. So since I've been back home, I noticed a couple of things because it's all new to me. But Tommy comes up and he does like a cartwheel. Or Sally comes up and she's like hugging the guy next to her, who's technically a stranger. And I'm just like, why are they like that? Or they'd be on stage and they'd be all like extra about everything. So I notice, I can't really show it a good example, but it'd be like, if you look, you could see a kind of wireless mic attached to them. So if you look at them, right, you look at them, they're running up, and then when they're sitting in the little thing there, they got the wireless mics on, which means they already know they're going to get their name called. Like, shock to me. So they already know, they're already ready to get they're already in ham it up mode because they already know. So it's not like, oh my gosh, I just won. It's more like, okay, they're going to call my name, and this is my claim to fame. Same, I think it's with all the new game shows or game shows, because like, let's make a deal or Deal or No Deal. They're sitting in the audience, but how could all their friends and family already be in the audience if they didn't know that? So that's new to me. Or maybe it always been this way. I just never noticed it. But I saw this today, and I was just like, wow. I think people would say I was days young. I don't like saying that, and I won't. But surprise. Another thing that's surprising to me is the stupid commercials. It's a scam. Actually, well, it's showbiz. So when I was in high school, right, my friends, they were singers, and in high school we were rappers. In another reality, they would have turned into like the NSYNC, and my group would have turned into like the Locks or something, because that's how it was. We were the hardcore rap group, and they were like the singers. And they got onto MTV karaoke. That was a thing, and they got onto it. So then they got onto it, and then we just went up there because why not? So I had to make the phone call like, hello, Matthew's sick. Okay. So I go. And we're in the audience, and it's really cold in there, super cold. And they gave us candy and whatever. And then when our friends, or whenever who comes in, we're supposed to be like, yeah. But if we weren't like, yeah, they'd be like, do it again. And they'd be like, come on, guys. And so they kind of prep us to be extra animated. And Fat Joe was there one time, and I gave him my tape. I was like a tape, because this is 1999, before CDs and all that. And I was just like, here's my tape. And he's like, yo, man, I respect it. He never called me back, man. Never called me back. And then my friends won their round, so they came back a second time. This time it was, I get them confused. It either was Backstreet Boys or it was NSYNC. It's one of the, they had the same manager and whatever. And I think it was Lance or one of them, not Justin, but one of them. And I gave them my tape. And again, they're just like, yeah, man. But after the fact, or Mobb Deep, Prodigy, not Prodigy. Who was one of them? Prodigy. Let's say Prodigy. Well, it's the one who died. Prodigy. If they would have grilled me about I know their music, I don't even. But anyway, I gave them my tape. But I think, I can't prove it, because, it is what it is. But I sampled a song, Oompa Loompa. I don't like the look of it. And I gave them the tape with it on it. Well, this time I had CD. I gave them a CD. And a couple of months later, I heard Lil Wayne Dungeon Crew. They sampled it too. Lil Wayne was on a remix. I think they stole my idea. Can't prove it, but But yeah, in general, there's no point in like giving people stuff, because unless they have the power to sign you, no, it doesn't hurt. But if you give me if you gave me your tape, I probably wouldn't listen to it. I'd have to be at your show and be like, yo, your stuff is nice. Do you have a tape or CD or whatever? But just you random people. Even my friends, like if they just give me their music. Yeah, I think it was Prodigy. No, it wasn't him. It was his Havoc. I gave it to Havoc. I gave it to one of them. I don't remember, because I wasn't really listening to their music. Now, I guess blame it on 8 Mile, but the last battle where dun, 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 dun. Yo, what's up, Ryan? I hope you're doing well. I'm alive. Actually, I'm good. I'm good. All things considered. I'm good. Actually, that's another story. But yeah. I also met Beanie Siegel. He came to my town, or a couple towns up, and we're at this club, right? And he was going to perform with Freeway. So we're all out in the line waiting, and there's a holdup. And it's like, what's the holdup? And he's like, Beanie Siegel won't come into the club unless he could carry his gun. And they're like, you can't carry your gun into a club. He's like, well, I ain't going to perform then. And we're out there for like an hour and some change. We paid. Well, I didn't pay. My brother paid. Whatever. Actually, I don't think he paid it. My brother's friend was organizing it, so I think we're on that kind of list. So eventually, I don't know what they decided, but we do go in there. I didn't even know what Freeway looked like, because it's the first time I heard Freeway was on 1-800-HUSTLER, and it's like, first things first, watch what you say out your mouth when you... And I thought, that dude is dope. But anyway, So I seen him like, oh, okay. So then we go outside and Beanie Siegel's there, and I had my 8 millimeter camera, and I gave it to my brother. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna talk to him, and I'm talking to him. I'm like, hey man, I'm a rapper, and he's like, yeah, you just gotta keep, talking what people talk, whatever. And then I go to check the film or check the video, and the freaking cap was still on the thing, man. Yeah. Now it's my fault. I should have took the cap out and gave it to my brother. Push play. But that's the way it goes. Yeah. Here's another one. I got a couple. We'll just make all these about that. When I was in Japan the first time as a student, my teacher, he was writing a book about hip hop, right? So every time he would go to an event, he would always say, "Hey, you want to go?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So when there was a Zulu Nation event, Africa Bambaataa, he wasn't there, but people in his thing were there, and yeah, Beanie. I don't think he liked me. Well, anyway, so he would always bring me to these events. He's like, "You should go there, go there." And one time he's like, "Yo, do you want to go to a Destiny Child event?" Now, I knew who Beyonce is, and I know who Destiny Child was. And I'm like, okay. So we go to the biggest club that closed down, but the biggest club in Roppongi at that time. And he gives me, I wish I had more props, but he gives me a pass, a press pass. So it's around my neck. We go into the club, and up on the balcony, there's Destiny's Child, Beyonce, and the other ones. And he's like, so he goes up there because he got the press pass, and he's like, "Hey, you come." I'm behind him, so I'm walking. Do. He goes up, and then I just feel like I can't go up there. I'm not pressed because there was a bouncer there, so I just kind of cut away, and that was that. Sucks to be me, man. Well, or how about this one? Wow, I got so many of them. It was a New Year's Eve, maybe 1998, maybe back when the Wu-Tang was all together before Old Dirty Bastard died, right? And they were gonna perform all of them, all 9 of them, 8 of them, 9 of them, all of them, all the main ones were gonna perform at this club on New Year's Eve. And my brother's like, "Do you want to go?" Now, if you listen to my stories, or if you ever, we weren't close now and we weren't close then. So I'm like, nope, I'd rather stay with my friends. I did regret that decision because all my friends did on that New Year's Eve was drink in the basement and pass out. And I don't drink, so I'm just sitting there like, man, that sucks. And then, I mean, when Triumph came out, it was the first time like that kind of video was ever aired on like MTV. It was big, monumental. So when it came out, we were driving in my friend's mom's van. We're driving, or he's driving. I'm sitting in it, and then we heard, "Ooh, dun," the beginning of Triumph, and we pulled over. I don't know why we pulled over, but we just pulled over, and we're just dun 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 dun, and we're just. Yeah, it was crazy. It was wild, man. It was wild. So yeah, and then Old Dirty Bastard died, and they're not really best friends anymore. Another time, who was it? I forget his name. It was somebody, a kind of underground rapper, whatever. So I'm in this. This is in Japan. I'm in this space, and I'm thinking this is where this is like the main space of the club. So I'm in there just, two-stepping. And I met this promoter. So the whole night I'm just like, "Yo, let me perform." Cause I just got to Japan. I'm just like, "Yo, let me perform. I'm a rapper. Let me perform. They call me Manifesto. Let me perform." So all night I'm just harassing her. And we went there to see this guy perform. So then I came with some other people, and it's like, "Yeah, you missed the show. It was in the other room. I didn't even know there was another room. It was crazy. What do you think of Andrew Tate? I don't know Andrew Tate. Yeah. I'm worried about the day that when I'm on like a major radio station or having a big interview and they'd be like, so what do you think of? I don't know, because that could start problems. Like who was it? Uh, Someone's like, I don't know Brandy. I think Jay Harlow. I don't know. Now it's possible that he didn't watch the Brandy, or he didn't come up in the era of Brandy. He didn't watch her TV show. He didn't care for Ray J's sister. Like, it's possible that he would know who she is. I don't think there was any diss in there, but I think people like you don't triumph in gravel pits. He's too far. All right, so it's like a comedian online, like a YouTuber Vine esque type guy. Yo, recently I'm late. I'm late to everything. But what's the dating market in Easton, Pennsylvania, where I am located at now? It's brutal. Actually, no. It's hard for me because I'm weird. So yeah. But I recently found okay, what's his name? Emmett. No, is it Emmett? Everett. And I don't know anything about him other than it's a one guy setup. There's a bunch of these kind of things. It's one guy doing the multiple takes, and he's just, to me, he's funny. I like him. He in Japan. I'm the worst person to ask about that because, one, I'm not there anymore. Two, I'm weird, so I don't think I could speak for most people. But I would say for me, it's probably easier because I live there. I guess after 15 years, if I'm in here, it'll be easy for me too, easier. But right now, I'm still trying to figure out stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I guess the last story, opportunities missed, music related. Um, when I was in Japan, I went to Japan for school, and then I went back home, and then I tried to get a teaching job. It wasn't working, so I just, whatever. I took all my money, got on a plane, and just went there for Christmas, and I'm just out there doing my thing. And we're performing, and then I met this guy, and he's just like, yo, man, you guys are so amazing. Well, at this time, I met this singer, so it was me. Before Nelly and before the duos, I guess there's always been duos like that, but Japanese girl and black rapper, we were a thing, man. We were like original. And all right, I'm gonna get back to you being a big M, but we it wasn't seen so much, and we were able to well, actually two things happened. First, he was like, yo, I got Sony execs to come, like an A&R, to come see you guys because you guys are phenomenal. Unfortunately, I was on a plane, and unfortunately, I had to get on that plane, go home. I didn't know about rescheduling plane tickets because it was my second time on a plane. Now I probably would have, reschedule. And then she managed to get so after they seen her, she managed to get a call back or whatever. But I wasn't there, so all my parts was just her singing, and it didn't really work out. And that was that. All right, Big M, your question. Are there Yakuza in Japan, or is it a myth? It's not a myth, and yes. It'd be like someone who's watching like TV, like, are there really gangs, Crips, and Bloods? Yeah, they're real. Do you see them? often going? How often will you be going live? I'm trying to find my bearings, but every Tuesday at 9 because I do Zoom before this. But my only experience, I had 2 experience with Yakuza. So my friend, well, okay. The first time I was performing in Ikebukuro with this crazy guy. Like there was this like some so crazy guy. So this guy on his flyer he writes, my event is not scary. Don't be scared. Who writes that? Even if that's what you're feeling, but who writes that? He was on some any publicity is good publicity. So he when there was like a stabbing in Japan and he kind of looked like the guy who did it, he jumped up on YouTube and he's like he wore this, like he tried his best to look like the guy and he put all the tags in there and then he's promoting his event that I used to go to. So he's a weird guy. Anyway, so after one of the shows, myself, him, this big Japanese guy, and this tough-looking Japanese guy, and I think there was one female with us. We go to like a izakaya, and we're sitting there, and we're all like talking. Well, I don't talk. I'm just observing. And then they get really quiet. Okay, whatever. I guess it's quiet time. And then this old guy looks at me and he's like, he's talking in like if you watch anime, like that kind of talk. And everyone just get dead quiet. And then they start whispering. He said that you look cool. I said, and? He said that he wants to give you a drink. I said, I don't drink. Tell him I don't drink. And then he's like, that's a Yakuza. And I'm like, he don't look like he didn't, there was nothing special about him. He just looked like, I mean, I guess he was following the rule of gangsters. You don't go around flashing stuff or whatever. I don't know. But the mood, the air in the room, everybody just got really scared. And these were like these big tough guys and just like, yes, sir. And then he left and then they kind of came back like, yeah, that's a Yakuza. So that was my first time. The second time I technically, so another friend of mine, he invited me to perform at his club. He was a bouncer at the club. And he's like, yeah, you should come down here. So I went down the first time and it was just whatever. The owner was, I mean, he was just slick looking. Like I'm a teacher. I mean, different people have different experiences in Japan, but I'm a teacher. So all the Japanese people I met to that point were just kind of, you know, the principal wears a suit and, you know, he had his hair, but he was like, so this guy, you know, he got the rings and the little chain and whatever. And he's, you know, hey, nice show. Like, he didn't really speak English to me, but he always tell me, good job. And he'd like buy me a drink or give me a drink. It's his club. So one night my friend calls me up. He's like, don't come tonight. Because we were en route with my little girlfriend at the time. Like, we can't go. And he's like, okay. And he was like, I'll explain it later. So then the next week he came. Actually, there's a video. Oh, no, wait. He asked me to take it. All right. So then we meet up the next week. And I recorded it because I'm like, can I record this? And he was just telling me how it works. He's like, first of all, the key money or protection money, dude didn't pay it or whatever, so they beat him up. He's all bloodied up on the ground. I would have been on stage like, and then have to watch that. I might be traumatized, you know? And then he was just saying like, you know, they're here and they just do their own thing, you know? And this is what scared me. He's like, us foreigners, we're like little ants. You know, just flicker. If they want us, if we intersect, kind of like in the movies, you know, like what's the movie with what's his name? Keanu Reeves. There's 3 of them. He has guns. John Wick, right? It's kind of like that. So he messed with the guy's son because his son messed with him, and now it's John Wick. But we're not John Wick, so. And he's like, you know, they're in the police, they're in the government. They look just, it was really scary, man. Like, yeah, go just stop for a minute. Respect. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. But yeah, so they're there, they're doing their things. It's real. And what's crazy is, you know how you know they exist? It's on some like Harry Potter. Like, we don't say his name. One time I was arguing with someone. We were staying up till like 5 a.m. talking about this. It was like, they don't. I was just trying to explain, like, they're so scary that you don't even see them. Because I think at that time one of the big bosses got caught and they covered his face. Like, we don't even know who they are. They're just out there. And then my personal, my belief, like all the illegal stuff, like the massage parlors and the drugs, it's coming in from somewhere, and somebody is taking care of all that, which it would probably go to those people, that sector. So yeah, man, it's but again, now within the entertainment, it's, as I said, I kind of bumped into it, but I would imagine if you get deeper in it, you would meet your Suge Knight, your Japanese Suge Knights in Japan. Um, Japan is the first or the longest place I lived, 15 years. When I was 7, I went to Jamaica. And when I was 12, I went back to Jamaica. And when I was 13, I think, I went to England. But, I was with my parents. I went to Hong Kong, which is crazy. I was like a tourist, man. It was nice. It was nice. I went first class because, so, I mean, maybe you know this, maybe you don't. I didn't know this because I don't fly like that. But if you are going to Japan, and it's possible, even if it costs a little bit of money, get an air mileage card. Pick a company and just stick with it and just get your points. At one point, I had so many points. I hate to use points over it, but at one point, I had so many points that I could have flew back to America for free. But my friend, he lives in Hong Kong, and he's like, you should come hang out with me. So I just used like half of my points to do first class to Hong Kong, and it was beautiful, man. Never flew first class. It was nice, man. They treat you differently. You feel differently. It's nice. And that lounge, free food, free newspapers, comfortable seats. It's nice, man. I vowed that I'll never fly first class again, or I'll never fly economy, but there's no way I could afford. First class ticket from Japan back to America was like $10,000 and up. But yeah, man. Hopefully I mean, monkeypox is, because I, in my opinion, man, remember when COVID started? It was just a little boat off of somewhere. And like, oh yeah, there's a little boat. They're sick, and no one really thought about it. Then the jokes came, ha ha ha, and then boom, shit got flipped and turned upside down. And I feel that I see the same trajectory. And that shit's scary, man. Oh, man, I don't want to put no vaccine of monkeypox, and then we got to do COVID shots. But yeah. So hopefully. Best place to stay in Japan as a tourist, I would say first. So, as I always say, when I got to Japan, yeah, and probably more, man. Could you imagine the people who fly first class, the kind of money that they just, yeah, I'm first class, or private jets. But shit, 10K, that's enough round. But yeah, that's a whole nother thing. So yeah, tourist place, I would say whatever you're interested in. Like if you want old Japan, you probably go to Kyoto. So you could go down there. If you want to be with the young kids and do young stuff, and Roppongi keeps coming to your mind, maybe be around there. It's not really tourist, but it's a kind of tourist. I didn't really when I got to Japan, I didn't know about Japan. Like when I went to Japan, I went as a student, right? Study abroad. So there's 100 of us, and they're all like, "I'm gonna go to Akasaka. I'm gonna go to Sen." Like they're just naming things. I'm like, I'm just gonna walk around. I want to believe I had a better time than they did because they had expectations. I had none, but I actually yeah. So I would say if you're going to Japan, right? Um, it's cool. I mean, first start with what your interests lie and try to get close enough to that. But I don't think you could really miss as long as you're open and you don't even have to pay for like just get your hotel or get an Airbnb or get a something cheap and just walk around and you'll be surprised at all the cool things you see. Go to Metropolis. It's a magazine. You could Google all this, but they kind of have like what's happening. Because another thing is when you get there, there'll be different things are happening during different seasons. So try to align with the season of whatever you're trying to get into, if that all that makes sense. Personally, Shibuya was the place for me, man. I think it's because when I first got to Japan, they dropped me off at Shibuya, and the sights and the sounds are just like, but it's my last night. I was in Shibuya, just driving around. My friend, he had a little convertible, which is random because I'm posting up on Instagram, whatever music, and he's just like, "Hey, man," because I was selling my. Well, I didn't sell my. So when I left Japan, I had to get rid of a lot of stuff. I just gave it away. If you came to my house, it's yours. And then some stuff I was just trying to hold on to it, but then in the end, I had to throw away like mic stands, and I was kind of upset, man. It hurt. Like, I mean, these lights right here, they're on a stand, but I had to leave the stands there and then buy them again when I came here. Annoying. But he came, right? And he's just like he took all my photo stuff, the green screens, the poles, which was really good, man. Are they are they are crazy about anime as the West is? I heard them not big deal. Um uh so it is their culture. So it'd be like if you're from Philadelphia, you probably like the Sixers, Eagles cuz it's your town, but not everyone in that town would like the sports of that town. So it's kind of like that. So there's some diehard people like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." I mean, I was there, man. I was there when the Sixers almost won the championship, and then they lost, and everybody was just so sad. I went to Burger King, and she's just like, "May I take your order?" But for Japan, I mean, I think it follows where your interests lie. And for me, the people I found, my first girlfriend, she liked dancing reggae, so anime wasn't her thing. Of course, she liked Hello Kitty and Doraemon and all that, but she wasn't. Second girlfriend, she was into Latin dance. Third girlfriend into Latin dance. That's why I take Zumba now, right? But they weren't into it either. Now there's other people that they cosplay and then there's the extremes where they dress up in you know. So I there's a place for everyone, I suppose. Um, I think if you were to Google the what do you call it? The Pikachu parade. So that's pretty huge. So if you were to look at that, there's probably a whole bunch of Asian faces there, maybe some foreigners. Doraemon, I believe, has a movie every year, and I think it does really well. I never went, but yeah. Um, I don't turn the pain. It's gonna pretty much hotel and enjoy it. I don't mind taking 20, 30 rides. You don't want to take 20, 30 subway rides. But if you're coming over, you can get like a train pass. That will save you a little bit. But slim girlfriend who dances dance hall. She got married. She lives in Florida, I believe. I think she's doing okay. I mean, she did email me when my mom died to say. But yeah, I guess she's okay. You don't even want to be on a 20, 30-minute train ride. Actually, I mean, I like it. I mean, you got your books, you got your music, and you can sleep on that, man. I don't. I mean, I have that thing where if I'm on a bus or a train and I just fall asleep. But yeah. But 30 minutes is not bad. I mean, if you were dropped right in Shibuya, 30 minutes will get you where you gotta go. I lived like an hour and 30 minutes from Shibuya when I first got there, and I would always go to Shibuya or Roppongi. Long rides, man, long rides. I'm in New York, so okay. So yeah, it's something like that. Except there's nobody dancing on the trains, no homeless people. It smells much better. If you lose something, you will get it back maybe 80%, 89%. I once got an umbrella. I lost my umbrella on the train and I got it back on the subway. An umbrella, a black, no name, just a black umbrella. And I asked my girlfriend if she can ask the lost department if they could find my umbrella. And in 2 weeks, they found my umbrella. Yeah. Yeah. It's good times, good times. But yeah. 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 Unfortunately, and I hate, I mean, it is what it is, but it's my job to be objective. So if you are a female and you're on the trains in Japan, that may be an issue because weird things happen on the train, which is weird. I was in Japan 15 years. They didn't start putting cameras on the trains until, I don't know, 4 years ago. And I believe it's because the Olympics were coming. So they want to make it safer for people. But that's just weird, man. If you went to the dollar store, there's like 800 cameras in a dollar store. But yeah. Here, let me jump out here real quick. Let me see what this is. All right. So as always, it is great to be live and interacting with y'all. One day, I don't know what that day is, but one day, I mean, I met some people either because they were in Japan, only because they were in Japan, but there's some people who actually live. I know there's one guy who lives down in Philly, some people who live down in New York. But once my situation is a little better, or once I return back to the Far East. But yeah. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate you watching these, joining the live views, and watching my random walk and talks. And yeah, stay dehydrated and be safe, you know. And next Tuesday, same time, same place. I might change the lighting setup, although I like how it looked. But I could change this to different colors, so we'll play around with the colors. And yeah. Yeah. And yo, my typing skills are probably worse than yours. I'm Mr. Type it wrong and wait to spell check it after the fact, which apparently is like a pet peeve of people who are over your shoulder. Like, you spelled it wrong. Like, I know, but I'm just going to spell check it in a second. and I have all these little red squigglies underneath there. Like, don't worry about it. But it's spelled wrong. Like, don't worry about it. But all right, I'm out. Be safe. Tomorrow I'm getting my fingerprints for the freaking the teaching thing. That should be fun. But yeah. All right. Peace.